T World. Beard. Tonight is very special. Out of games because there's no games. Oh damn! Straight out the pot.
Straight cash, homie.
Beard, how are you?
I'm great. I'm lovely. I'm sporting this lovely chapeau that my lady friend bought me when we stopped by Gordy's. Heyo! Open till September 18th. Go make your dreams come true.
What did you have when you were there last?
I had a California burger. Their tomatoes were so fresh and juicy and delicious on that bad boy. So good. Had that, some fries, because as we are wont to do with the Wheeler family, our dogs get fries when we stop at Gordy's. So we got some fries and a small blackberry shake because
Blackberry
I'm a big
shake
boy, but I can only ingest so much dairy.
Yeah, I literally just ate my dinner like 30 seconds before you jumped on. I had a bowl of baked beans with a cut up hamburger in it. Very good, but the beef very spicy in a good way.
Yeah.
And I got a little bit of this. I got a little bit of burn mouth.
Ooh, burn mouth.
Sloppy boys got burn mouth.
Sloppy boys get burn mouth. That's how it happens, dude. I mean, come on.
So,
come on.
Go ahead.
I had Marna's, and I got their burrito, which is like 2 pounds of badassness. And usually I just cut it in half and maybe get some guac with their like yuca fries and chippy poos and do a little halfy half. Tonight I just stress ate that entire thing because it's a week before classes started. My girlfriend's moving in. It's a lot of I moved a couple hours of furniture today. Got 5 syllabi approved, so your boy is lit.
She moving in this weekend?
No, I mean it's been a slow move, but we have a mover moving things up over the Labor Day weekend. So this weekend is hey Shaggy, what's up? Food talk. Had a gyro for dinner. Yeah.
Nice.
You get that lamb, Daddy, or are we talking like chicky poo or?
I always feel like chicken is so dangerous in a gyro because it has a tendency to get dried out, and I'm always like, oh no, I don't want to dry chicken. There's barely anything worse. Lamb, that's what I'm talking about.
I feel like, I mean, if it's not a gyro, you're having a chicken shawarma sandwich, you know, and shawarma. Give me that juicy chick. Give me that juicy cheeky. So yeah, tonight we figured we'd say, hey, games. We've got so many of you. Let's talk about all of you that we want to play during Extra Life this year. And I think in general, just maybe have a chatsky about Extra Life. We haven't had a chance to really chap it up and see, I think, where our druthers are landing after we had our kind of State of the Union a couple months ago on prep school, I think, right? I think that's where we had it.
This week has been a blur. So you're asking the wrong person. Last night was the first night I wasn't recording or streaming, and I was like, I'm so tired.
Oh, hey Dave, what's up, baby? I hope you and Miles are having a good time. We're having a good time. Brought to you by the good folks at Wawa. Wawa. They aren't sponsoring, but I love Wawa.
You do
also,
Wawa.
The state of Virginia. It's for lovers. So go bone down. Also, Glee, natural chewing gum. Hey, do you not want to get cancer? Chew on Glee because there's no cancer-causing agents in this bad boy. Chico. What? Yo. Yeah. I don't know. So, Extra Life, actually, Warriors also streaming right now. Some Apex Legends. I just dropped by and said hello from you and I, and said we're going to be rapping about bad games. He might drop by later. I think he's going to drop in that Free Forge as well. But he's crashed out on the tiny blanket. Yeah, baby, core 4 for life. I had Din with Danny and Matt.
Oh, nice. How are Danny and Matt?
They were great. I was down one of my a guy that I met when he was like doing his thesis work, like one of the best thesis projects I'd ever seen, like when I was still living down on the coast. He and I ended up teaching together at my gig, and he was just kind of part-time and was working for a firm and split off and started his own firm a couple years ago. And he and another local practitioner, woman named Christine, are taking over the leadership of a local firm that's been around for about 30 years. Really great
Holy
firm.
cool. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I know the current or the outgoing owners. One of them is going to be staying on kind of full time, and another one's kind of moving towards that part-time retirement life. And really good guys, like great. One of them was a good mentor to me when I was going through school, and they worked with us down in Mississippi. They taught like a May term design build studio down there, and so like I think it's rare for any business organization to kind of pass the torch when the time is right. And sometimes you end up losing some really great talent because people are unwilling to adapt and change with the times. And yeah, it was just a cool example of somebody saying like, hey, we want to see this like business and this firm live on as the same thing and not kind of lose that. And so they looked for two great people they'd collaborated with and said, hey, what do you think about taking over the reins? And they stepped up. And yeah, so it's great. There's like a little outdoor thingy thing, and it was in South Minneapolis. So I reached out to Matt and Danny. I was like, hey, I'm, relatively in the neighborhood, and you want to get some food? And we went and got some Mexican food outside, sitting on a patio. So yeah, very low anxiety for me the week before classes start. And got to have a margarita with friends. So, yeah, not too shabby. What are we running this year? What are we going to do?
I know I talked about before, and I think I might do it, is, although I'm really torn on doing it, is having the same like 6 players maybe, and played like 4 to 5 different games, but play the same characters.
Oh, in different systems?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's super interesting.
I don't know. I think I burned out my creativity putting that song thing together today. Oh my God. I had 3 interviews scheduled today.
Yeah.
2 did not take the calls, of course. My third one is a DC, a coordinator, designated coordinator position. She had to cancel the first time for a work emergency. I called her on Monday and she had COVID. And she has COVID. I mean, you can tell. Called her today on our reschedule. She was in the doctor's office because she's having problems breathing. I feel so bad for her. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to let them know that like we aren't hiring anybody till I have a chance to interview you. Also because like her resume is the best of the people I've interviewed for that position so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in between like getting stood up and doing some accounts payable work and a little bit of other just nicky-nacky stuff, I put that song together. I recorded the voice part at the beginning using like a free modulator to make my voice sound more orky. So yeah, I'm like super kind of in the mindset to run that, like that 3-parter Star Wars. Also, I'm kind of like trying to wrap up that.
Our 5-part 3-parter.
Yeah. Our 5 out of 3.
Hey dude, most generous birthday gift I've ever gotten. I'll give you a trilogy. No, fuck it. I'll give you a 5-ology.
Quintology.
I
don't know. I'm having some problems thinking of what I want to do. So maybe
but the thing about that is like we could go, 5 or 6 episodes and you can just leave it on a cliffhanger, Like every single one of those dudes would like jump on that 5-6 months from now after you run some other stuff you want to run, and we'd be pumped about it, so.
But I wanted to, and that's why, when we have our 5th episode, it's the ending has to make sense.
Yeah.
So it's easy to kind of come back to when I'm ready to come back to it.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I'm kind of like wishy-washy on it.
Sure.
But I mean, it's not like it hasn't been fun.
No, it's been a blast, man. I wish I would have thought a little bit more at the beginning about what I was playing, because I feel like I wouldn't have been a Trandoshan. Like, I don't feel like I'm very Trandoshan at
You're
all,
not very
and
Trandoshan.
it's dumb, you know. I was for the first episode, and then I think we like had a little break, and then like I came back, and I was just kind of like just trying to like make sure I remembered everything, and I don't know. Yeah, it is what
It
it
is what
is.
it is. Yeah. I mean, I think that happens.
It's fun, frankly. I don't feel like I'm very true to the species, but at the same time, I feel like
But you don't have to be. That's the beauty of like even like what they're doing with D&D, which I'm all about, is
yeah,
you know, that doesn't matter as much anymore. It's more about like maybe you're a Trandoshan. You know, you grew up with Cam.
yeah,
He's not Trandoshan. So
yeah.
that might explain some of the battle of the pragmatism and the brutality.
Yeah. Yeah. So
What are you going to run?
Been thinking a lot about that. I've actually been thinking that I want to run a Drakewind session, like in current continuity, just so like people that hang out and watch that can tune in and have an episode. I would really like to run something in the microscope, like of other like times during that 500 years that other people could jump in and play something. And, you know, I could basically frame it kind of like I framed last year's, where it's like, this is a moment in time. And, you know
what you could do is I have that Dragonflight supplement. You could have people play dragons.
That's true.
I mean, that would be I think that would be real wild.
That would be pretty wild. I also, because I'm a petty bee, I did pick up the starter set, and I thought about running for people that have never played before during Extra Life, just like as a, you know, like we'll take, you know, we'll take 4 hours or something like that. We'll go through, like, we'll make the characters, and people could take suggestions from chat if they want, and like, you know, I think it'd be a really fun thing to be able to show people that like there's not a hurdle to this, you know, like we can make a character and just play some D&D.
Spike?
Oh, what's up, Spike?
Yeah, I mean, with that, what you could do too is you could go buck wild and sorry, I'm trying to keep my brain going by multitasking poorly.
Yeah.
What you could do is like do some type of fan vote for pre-made characters. You could do a lot of interesting stuff with that, where you could like, you know, start to source it out, since you tend to have a better and more consistent outreach than most of us do.
So I feel like since Shaggy and Spike are on here and they're like OG Bad at Game dudes, maybe I'll pull Obi-Wan out, since I didn't get a chance to do it on the ye old Dave Wonder stream. He tried inviting me to. Ooh, that's looking good.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to do with this Eldor, because he has brown arms in the other versions, and I don't have any brown arms. So instead, he just looks like I'm a tough and buff old man.
That's
bringing
beautiful.
that thunder. And then
That's sweet boy.
I'm starting to work on my Masterverse Mirror Man.
Oh shit, that looks great.
Well, it's just part swaps.
Hey.
And then this just came in the mail.
Oh.
There.
Hey, yo.
As well as my the second two figures in the Vox Machina. So it was.
Dude, they look so good. I think Ninth Archer sent me pictures.
They're real cool, but you know, nice. Much like all McFarlane toys.
Yeah.
They're just like, we were just talking about this at Tiny Ming, I think, last week. they're really, really cool posable statues. Because
Yeah.
if I would have played with those when I was a kid, if they would have been there, I would have
Broke the
fucking
F out of it.
destroyed them.
Yeah.
They just have no durability at all.
I kind of feel I got this sideshow Obi-Wan, and it feels like a cheap ass Barbie, man. I was a little disappointed considering that Obi-Wan in the desert, the like Obi-Wan Legends or not Legends, Mythos one, the one that's kind of like the mix between Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
Love that one. Love the feel of it. Love the weight of it. But yeah. Oh shit! Shaggy just found Thunder Rosa and Eddie Kingston tonight. Yeah, baby.
Oh, nice.
Oh, dude, I don't know if you guys saw it or
Two
if you
people
showed it
who
on-
currently aren't on the show.
Yeah, but that custom that Matt did of Eddie Kingston, that paint
Yeah.
job looks so good. I was like, dude, give me that. Oh, also, I got to finally see the Matt cave. Holy shit, dude!
I know. It's the
Lord.
most insane thing I've ever seen in my life.
I thought Dave had a lot.
Dave,
Oh,
I love you, my friend, but Matt's room it
I was
destroys
like,
him.
what? I did not. No witnesses. But yeah, so it was cool. I also got to meet 3 cats, which was great.
How was
very-
your interactions with the cats?
Good. I got to pet all 3 cats.
I did too, which
Yeah.
apparently is
Yeah,
not a normal thing.
Not normal. Yeah, they they know us. They hear us. Yeah, we're familiar, but so thought about that. I've thought about some of these other games that I have backed. I thought it would be really fun to play games that I've backed over the last year. So there's a number that I backed. And there's also people I've backed or other things like that I've done. So there is let's see, in Soviet Russia, Spy Are You, which is a Russian spy game, a Cold War kind of like role playing game, very simple, like I don't know, not even like 30 pages for the entire thing. And then I have a couple of, you know me, I got to have a Christmas joint every Extra Life. So there's a couple of adventures that I've backed for that. I got one called Winter Splendor. That's like 4th level characters and has a couple of like fun objectives and yeah, it was pretty, and some cool like magical items. So I was pretty pretty pleased with that one. I might run that. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm having a real hard time just trying to sort in my head what is inspiring me, but B, also what I can run effectively.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a thing where I can't get it to do what I want it to do in the game. If
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, no one wants another puzzle dungeon.
Well, I mean, they
No.
do. Just not
No,
that
no one wants me to ever run a puzzle dungeon unless they've got unless they're a glutton for punishment or they just want to watch me suffer.
Yeah. I was also kind of oh, excuse me. Whew.
Bless
I
you,
was
man.
also kind of inspired by playing the murder mystery that Christy kind of helped run last year, and I backed I downloaded a couple of murder mystery D&D games that has like potential character hooks similar to that, and I thought that might be really fun to run. So
I listened to almost all of the newest episode of Adventure Zone
Oh yeah.
last night, and they played it's a live episode, and they played Super Normal with
How's
the
that?
same characters. as they played last time, and this time it was the company event was like a Comic-Con because they were at Comic-Con doing the show. It was fucking, first of all, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Which I expected.
Yeah.
But Travis, who I generally don't care for when he runs, except for maybe this game, he did these cool like additional cards. So if a decision was made that he had kind of speculated was going to occur, he had cards like if somebody did something, like if Justin decided to do something as Opperman to show what a normal guy Joe Lunchpail is, sometimes Travis had made like cards that he could pass out to everybody, or not everybody, that were like plot points, like additional things. Like he put one out at the beginning of the game that let the players know who knew whose secret identities, because not everyone knew each other's secret identities, even though they're on a superhero team called the 402 Best Friends. Because Griffin's character turns into 399 Ravens. So technically with the 3 of them, then there are 402 of them. So, hey, Mitch. So I really liked that idea. And I was like, oh man, that'd be cool in a lot of different games. And I need to get on figuring out what I'm going to do, because I've kind of been this making like multimedia stuff and for our games, and I've really enjoyed it, and I've gotten really good feedback about it. So the only thing I'm lacking is I can't draw at all. So coming with art is like virtually impossible. That's the only thing that sucks. I don't know, man. I thought about doing Kids on Brooms, but I also was like, oh, Colin's running Tales from the Loop, and those are very similar games. So,
well, I feel like I don't know. Did he say that he wanted to? Yeah, thanks, Spike. I was muted.
He did during Chaos Scar. He was definitely going to run again.
Oh, nice. Oh, that makes me happy.
He was very excited about it. Man, he looks amazing,
doesn't he? I'm so happy. So for everybody who's watching, if you didn't have a chance to peep Chaos Scar, our friend Colin had gastric bypass, has really stuck with it.
He had. I didn't know he had gastric bypass. I just thought. I feel even better about myself because he was only a handful of pounds in front of me.
Yeah. So really, really amazing. He made the decision to do it and has really stuck with it. And I know that, I've known folks that have done it and haven't stuck with it and really regretted it. Yeah, man, he committed to it. I think, similar to us, and it was just like, let's do it. We got to do it. He was like, want to be here for my kids. Want to be here for a long time. So
for anyone who's watching and can't quite remember who Colin is, Colin played Monday Night in Chaos Scar as Tommy Americana. So
yeah. And he's also played in various games during Extra Life as Terry Fontaine.
Was Terry Fontaine an Extra Life game, or was that just us all fucking around game?
I think both. I think he played in maybe one of my games as Terry Fontaine. He also ran D&D. He's run Tales from the Loop for, like on and off for the last 4 or 5 years.
He did say he also got an expansion where you can play as the adults versions of your characters.
For Tales from the Loop? Oh, dude. An adult Touch Phillips? Oh, so much like young Touch Phillips.
I mean, I would talk to him about it and see what his plan is, but
oh, I will. Yeah, no. I think that's the other thing, like thinking about who else wants to play, who else wants to run, I think, like you said, I think it'd be super fun to run a like COJ, episode, during Extra Life. I know Dave's going to be streaming from that conference that he's going to in Oklahoma or some shit, but
Oh, is
I
he
think
going to
it'd be-
do it from there?
Yeah, he was saying
He mentioned it, but he never
I don't know if this
never
is
told us
like
how the phone call went.
I don't really know if this is supposed to be public, but it'll be public for as many people that are watching. They're like pretty excited about it, and they like are reaching out to other guests that are coming to the show and are basically going to say, "Hey, if you want to come on for this charity stream, one of our other guests is going to be charity streaming the entire day." And I think like Cordona and a couple other people are going to pop on, so it should be fun. They said that they'd give them like one of the small rooms.
Those guys were supposed to come on last year, I think, and I don't know if they did.
Well,
living that good brother life out on the road.
Yeah. Oh, it is public knowledge. Yeah, RadoCon. Super Spike said COJ train wreck. No witnesses. Yeah. It is public knowledge. All right. Thanks, Mitch. Appreciate it. As always, Mitch has the deets. Mitch Falcon. Falcon Paul.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I've got so many games, and I mean, there's a lot of them that are really easy to run.
Yeah.
But it's not even that I'm not inspired. I just can't think of like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you could do a gimmick, right? Like I honestly thought about just running like one day, like Saturday, running like, 2-hour chunks with little breaks, just running. You okay?
You scared the living bejesus out of me.
I turned the light on and everything.
Thank you very much.
It was half vanilla, so I put a little chocolate.
The lovely
Thank
Cassandra, social, no media.
What?
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
Whew.
I turned the light on.
I was concentrating on not cutting my finger off because I just put a new blade in because I broke the other blade.
So if you would have cut your finger off when I scared you, it would have been my fault. That would have sucked.
Yeah, I would have blamed you for cutting my finger off. Like, way to go, Cassandra. Now I have less of a finger.
Less of a finger. Hey, we're going to switch it up. We're going from Gordy's to Blockbuster. Blockbuster. They don't exist anymore, but I really like this hat. Yeah, I've thought about, like I said, I thought about like just running, 2 games on Friday, like a game or 2 on Sunday, and then Saturday not playing at all and just running like a freaking 10-hour rager, like saying like we're going from 1st to 10th level in, however many hours we go, and just like running a nonstop thing from like 10 to 6 or something.
If you could find somebody else to run it with you, what I would say with that is do that and do it the old convention tournament style. Get 2 groups running the same thing at the same time, and then they score points based upon what they get done. And then at the end, we could reward like a prize.
What are you doing on Saturday?
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's
I'm not big on that though, because I don't like running those type of adventures anyway. I'm more of a I could never run a tournament game because I would improv too much.
Yeah.
And you need the games to be somewhat follow the same structure. So the scoring can be fair.
Yeah, although I mean, we could easily run like Lost Mine and Phandelver or something like that. That we've run before, that we know pretty well. Anyway, something to think about. I do think that that's a really good suggestion, though. I mean, I think that would be really fun, and I think
it'd be super cool. Yeah, to get like a prize too, to kind of get people to buy in even more to like this idea of like must win.
Mitch, I feel you there. Yeah.
We were talking about it earlier, Mitch. It's been a month inside of a week.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I thought about doing maybe some Spelljammer.
Yeah.
I haven't
Have
spent
you
a whole lot of
got
time
it?
with.
What did you think of it? If you got it,
It's awesome. I haven't read a whole ton of it, but I really like it. I am okay with the fact that it now runs through the Astral Sea and not It used to just like you had to go through the phlogiston and all that, but now you can actually like everything leads back to the astral sea. I kind of like that.
Yeah. Do we know when Dragonlance is dropping? Could we potentially run Dragonlance?
I do not know.
Can't remember when that is.
It might be though at that point. Oh, I'm taking a picture of this, but this was my dude I finished on.
Teddy May.
That base turned out real good.
Oh yeah. That's very nice. Very, very nice. I was trying to find what's going on.
You know what'd be good to run for that though if you're gonna do it competitively? I have a bunch of I can't remember what D&D's organized play is called anymore, but I have a bunch of their organized play stuff.
Oh, nice.
So that I think would be a good thing to run because it's kind of built to be that.
Yeah.
Also, those things are built to be like, 3 hours or so. So, thanks, Mitch. Apparently, December for Dragonlance.
Ah.
But I think that would be really good to use, and you can let the folks know ahead of time, because those have faction stuff in them.
Oh, sure.
Players pick a faction at the beginning, and they get bonuses for their faction.
Yeah.
So.
Word.
And that kind of adds in the role play enough so it doesn't feel like, fetch questy, I guess.
Yeah. Interesting.
So that might be an option for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I shared my whole adventures folder in the Chaos Scar thing. So, I mean, there's gigs of adventures in there.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out.
I'll tell you what.
I just love.
I'll tell you what. Ask around if no one else will do it. We should do it then.
What's that?
We should run like a Saturday, 5 sessions.
Yeah, competitive thing.
We'll call it like the Extra Life Open or something like that.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I mean, honestly, even if you and I wrote something and only did a 3-hour session, it would still be a cool thing,
I do have Thirsty Sword Lesbians. I backed it on Kickstarter. It is awesome.
Nice.
I don't know if I would feel qualified to run it. I also have For the Power, which is like a She-Ra Princess of Power like thing where you play the princesses that I'm very, very interested in running at some point. Because it's not really about combat. It's about like all the other stuff. So that might be cool. I have so many. It'd be really cool if Matt and I got Hard Times done before then.
That'd be good. I'd play the fuck out of that. I think Christy said she's going to run Magical Kitties, and we played that. Zach ran for Greg and Sarah and Christy and I up at the cabin for Kevin Con 2022, and it was fun. We were real stupid, and God, what was my kitty's name? I can't remember. Shoot, I wonder if I brought that home. That was so much fun. Damn, I can't remember what my cat's name was. I'll have to message Sarah and see if she can remember.
How'd Sarah like it?
It was good. She said it wasn't, exactly kind of what she expected, but it was also, just like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I forgot she set in on a Star Wars game, which I'm sure was a lot different.
Yeah, she set in on Drakewind as well. So she's seen me run, she's seen you run, and she's seen Zach run. And I think that,
those are 3 very different people.
It was very apparent to her like how different, but also like I think where there are similarities, because I think that in the great Venn diagram of D&D, the three of us are we are three separate circles that do have some overlaps, but are very distinct.
Yeah, I would agree with that, which is good. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it helps when you've got people in your sphere of folks who can run game. I just wish we had a few more people who were like gung ho about running.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been really honestly thinking about, reaching out to other people that don't have team for Extra Life that are from Minnesota. That's just like they play on their own or they organize their own thing, and just being like, hey, do you want to be a part of a team? Just because I think it would be fun to mix with more people. I think it was so cool when Zach and Christy were running, and then like when Alex was running, and like everything else, and like I've thought about reaching out to those folks from Duluth that run their game and asking if they want to be a part of Extra Life this year, just because they have like a built-in audience too. But like they could also just run, even if they only ran their game for 4 or 5 hours, like it'd be a fun boost. And if they wanted to run a different game and we could like switch folks, that would be
You could
good.
reach out to Joe Croto.
Oh yeah.
He's a friend of mine who runs Ashland Unplugged
Yeah.
Games, who was on Chaos Scar. He might be able to do something at the store as well.
Yeah, it'd be super fun.
I know he talked for a while about potentially sponsoring Chaos Scar.
Hey, Magical Kitty saves the day from a board game group.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. Oh, speaking of board game groups, this came in the mail today.
Oh, what is it? I can't
It's
read.
expansion for Bureau of Balance.
Oh,
The Adventure Zone.
yeah.
It came with a really nice bag full of giant dice. Also, this weird poster of Clint that says, "Hey, what do you got there?" And he's mopping like the universe.
Oh.
Hey, what do you got there? That might be good to run because that's such a storytelling game.
Yeah. I think that my friend Joel would be interested in maybe playing or doing something now that he's not like connected to Fantasy Flight. Like I think he might be interested in like playing and or running some Star Wars or just participating in games, which would be a lot of fun.
Chris, if he's living up here at that point.
Yeah. Oh man.
He dropped that spoiler on everybody.
I know, dude. I mean, I would love him to play regardless of where he's at that point. Like I had a chance to go back and watch like the first, like 15 minutes or so. And I'm hoping to be able to put it on while I'm like moving stuff around this weekend. But yeah, I was like, he was everything I wanted and more from a player. It was so much fun.
I will say this. I told Cassandra the other day, one of the players that we played with has a disability, and he I think it's pretty hard on himself considering he has his master's in psychiatry, and he wrote a really nice post to some of the other players.
Oh yeah.
And their response was so also just like heartfeltly, like it was a blast to play with you. I know we don't know each other. And I was telling Cassandra, I was like, that's kind of what I want out of that game. And it was like made me feel so good.
That's awesome.
The fact that a bunch of people who don't know it, and that at the beginning of that thing when I was like, why are you here? And she said, I thought it was funny at the end. Almost everyone was like, well, I used to do this with Ben, or I know Ben through this, or I played a game with Ben and I just want to play with him again. And I didn't know that was going to happen. And I was like, oh shit, that really makes me feel pretty good. So I hope this is good so they can all like to do stuff with each other. And it turned out that way. And that makes me very, very happy. I like when games bring people together that way. It never ceases to make me very giddy.
And to me, I mean, that's what Extra Life is about. And I feel like we've had that to a certain extent in the last couple of years in like 1 or 2 games, but it'd be great to, have more folks playing and have those moments I think that we had in the first, year or two online where it's just like, oh shit, like I've never met this person that you've always talked about and they're so cool. And that was a lot of fun. So
Tennis balls came from that.
yep. Yeah.
Tennis balls.
His first name is Squidward.
Tennis balls.
He's a bit of a bastard.
Tennis balls.
Remember the next lyric: tennis balls coming soon to an adventuring party near Dunsmouth. Oh, so good.
If I knew how to play a song, I would play my song that I finished up today for the next mini series. But I'm not sure how to do that with this.
Alas. I mean, you could just play it.
I don't know if I can do that because I'm playing music right now and it's not playing.
Oh, well, it's because you got your earphones on. Like, I bet if I took my earphones off, I could play it over my speakers and people could hear it, but it probably won't be too good. Yeah.
Nice. I'm glad you had a good one, Shaggy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I think if we do the open on Saturday,
Yeah.
we'll have to decide between 3 and 5, as far as 3 to 5 sessions.
Yeah.
And what we could do with that is we could combine those two ideas.
Yeah.
We could have them all play the same characters, but we could jump them around anywhere we wanted as long as like we're running the same thing. So we could get a Spelljammer game in.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're running Spelljammer, you might also get Zach, because I know Zach was super interested in running some crazy shit. I can't remember what he's starting up an in-person game, like their new in-person game, because they lost a couple people. And Christy reached out because I think that they were going to do it, and I was like, I can't play on that night because I'm teaching that other class, and but
they don't even ask anymore.
But it's in person,
which is good. But I also am like, aw.
Yeah, but it's in person.
I know. I'm just saying, but I still being asked makes me feel good just a little bit.
I'm sorry. Planescape. No, he's running Planescape.
I very much love Planescape,
which he is like.
Everyone knows.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think I if you're interested in running, I would also play the fuck out of that Supervillains game again. I had such a good time.
I might try to run Super Normal.
What's that? I don't know. The system.
It's its own system. It's super easy. You roll 2 dice. It's the one I was telling you the McElroys were just playing. If you want to come to my game tomorrow, where is your game tomorrow? Because I'm not going in person. I think you live far away. Plus, I think after walk, if we get to walk, Doug and I are going to hang out, and whoever else wants to. We talk about maybe playing some board games, but also Shudder now has all 3 of the Yokai War movies up. So Florida, alas, no.
Dude, come on, hop on your jet. Are you a jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing son of a bitch?
No.
Oh, okay. Dude, you know who's going to be really, really disappointed?
No.
Dude, them Starcade boys.
We haven't heard from them Starcade boys in a while. I hope they're all okay.
I don't think they've been doing much in a while, but
all that was getting ready to come to fruition. They were like, "I want you to help with the video," and I was like, "What?" I think we do that. We come up with our framework, and we can either pull adventures from other places, or we can come up with 3 to 5 of them together, because really you just want them to be like 3 to 5, like either combat and skill, or combat and role play, some type of mixture of the 3 pillars of play.
Are you saying that someone is going to win D&D?
Yes.
This feels like, do you know what this feels like? It feels like when you're like, I'm running that Juramento. I fucking love that game. And when they moved, or like when they couldn't play anymore, I was so bummed.
I was
love
talking about that with Shannon on prep school, and now looking back on it, I'm like, man, that really, I can't tell if that was cultural appropriation or what I was doing. And I mean, it was a good game and I liked it. It was just like having a conversation about like, where does that lie? You know, if you're taking so much inspiration from different cultures and then trying to kind of build something out of it. Because I really, really like that, but I'm like also kind of like, I might be one of those ones where because I didn't talk
I
to
think that the
anybody
way
of that
they ran it,
background.
though, it was like sci-fi dinosaur, like the whole like Chult thing that was going on. I mean, I think Chult has its own fucking issues in general, being like an appropriation. But I mean, I think that you ended up making it this kind of like heavy metal-esque twist on these other things, and I don't know. I mean, I think that probably there's some aspect of it that is, but you look at how many cultures have that sort of gladiatorial arena, and I think that it's really hard to say this is appropriating a specific culture when it was like so rooted in just this like class struggle, which I think is a very universal trope, as it were, rather than a kind of an appropriation of a specific culture. I think the exploitation of man exploiting other man is a universal truth, unfortunately, rather than
And then like using some colonialism with the halflings that were basically built on like Japanese culture. Also, I was like, I don't know. I can't decide if that was really inspired and I did a lot of research and threw a lot of stuff together, or if I was just like, I don't know. It's hard for me to tell. We had that was a lot of our conversation was about like how to walk that line of, am I taking from this and effectively paying homage to it, or am I just literally just appropriating?
Yeah, no, I mean, but I think that it's a really good thing that you had that conversation, and that you're aware enough to say like, hey, I may have done that in the past, and it's something that I'd like to learn from and figure out how to do better, so that when I run something again, like I can be sensitive to those things, but also recognize that there are some things that are just unfortunate universal truths about the human condition.
The same thing we talked a lot about, like horror, and how I'm like horror just kind of scoots its way into almost every game I do in some way, shape, or form, and how, oh no, it was a flaming. I'm sorry, man. How have to be like kind of that I agree with. How you don't want to trigger warning someone. You don't want to trigger their any type of trauma. You don't want to make them kind of squeamish to the point where the playing. I mean, I don't mind for you to be a little uncomfortable. In fact, I prefer that in players, but I don't want them to be like, nightmare fuel. So
yeah,
we talked about that and how like that's a really hard line to try to figure out. But so that's why I also I believe in using a virtual X card. So I haven't had anybody use it. That's a good thing. So apparently I haven't ever pushed it too far. I've gotten close. I think I've walked right up to that line a few times.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of want to run some type of space game, but I don't know what. I don't know. Let's talk about Extra Life in itself, though. Let's not talk about because it sounds like we're both just trying to still figure out, even creatively, what interests us right now in running. So, Beard, talk about what it is, why it is, and how it is, maybe.
All right. Extra Life is born from a desire to support kids and their families that are going through health traumas. It is something we've been doing for 7 years now. I think this will be our 8th or 9th year. We have raised a tremendous amount of money. And in the last year, we raised over $15,000, which was a real, a very flattering experience. It was really great. We were in the top 5 in fundraisers for the state of Minnesota, and all of that funds go directly to Gillette Children's specialty healthcare. I think that we had, I can't remember how many people we had in the top 20. I think we had like 5 or 6 people in the top 20 in the state. Dem Wheeler boys, number 2 and 3. Yeah, it was great. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And it came from me being an insufferable asshole and signing us up and then telling King afterwards. And as usual, King was dragged along and put his best foot forward and knocked it out of the park. And so over the last almost decade of playing, we've had other people that we have played in their games, the lovely Zach and Christy. We've had Ben's lovely wife Cassandra help out when we've done it in person, coordinating and also coordinating things online. So many amazing folks join from my brother Dave to Warrior and Colin running Tales from the Loop, and our friend Alex, who we recently rediscovered, that resurfaced, running some really fun games overnight. And we started off doing the 25-hour stream. It's always on the weekend of the extra hour. That's where that kind of like extra life comes from. So the time change for daylight savings time, which is so dumb in the United States. And but yeah, we did it for 25 hours for maybe 3 or 4 years, and then
we did it for longer than that, actually.
Well, pandemic. We've done it online at least the last 2 years, right?
That's true.
20 and 21. So, and I can't remember whether we did some online the year before because we had it in 2 locations. But anyway, I mean, whatever. We played some in person. We played some online, but only the last couple years we made a transition to running over the entire weekend. So we'll start at noon on Friday of the weekend, and then usually end up around 7 or 8 on Sunday. And it's really an effort to get as many folks involved as want to be involved. And not everybody's schedule is the same. People got families, people got kids, people got jobs that aren't kind of a 9 or 5-er Monday, Friday. So it was an opportunity for us to run more games, get a more diverse crew of folks in, and it's been great. I mean, I could not be more happy and humbled to have people that come back year after year and support us, that tune into the Known World United stream, that have turned into Heel Turn streams, turned into Dave Wonder streams, and everything else. And look at this fancy boy. We were just giving the hard sell, baby.
Hi, Warrior. How are you, my friend?
Is my volume down? I literally can't hear you, which is weird.
Oh no.
Yeah, we can hear
Okay,
you. You're beautiful. We love you.
I thought.
I'm sure you're fine. I'm sure it's just my shit. Oh, that's why.
Wait, I can't hear you. You're muted. No.
I can't hear you now.
Yay,
Say
baby.
something.
Hello.
We love you, Warrior.
Why?
No. Oh, there's a hub piece.
I'm making a good impression.
You're
This is
making
a professional operation.
Yeah.
I'm very good
This is how we do it.
at
Warrior, you're doing just fine, my friend.
yes. Input.
You're literally
yes.
just
Why
folks
can't I
joining.
hear you?
I don't know. Oh.
What if I just still
Hey.
can't hear?
No.
What the fuck?
Is your volume on your computer on? Have you tried
Yeah.
to turn it off and turn it on again?
Do you have our tab muted? Can you hear us?
Be right back.
Okay. I mean, that's how I was watching Warrior stream in Freeforged. I just have their tab muted, so I still show up as a viewer. You gotta get them boys some sweet views. So You always gotta jump. Always gotta jump in. But
So
yeah. Anyway,
it's something that I think that like a lot of things that Beard and I do together. He was like, "I'm going to drag you kicking and screaming into good things," and he did so, and I really appreciate it.
I didn't say I was going to drag you. I just said you're doing it. Don't be a bee.
And that's sort of dragging, kicking, and screaming, to be honest.
Also, I have
Warrior's
Shay.
back.
Yeah, there he is. Also, Shaggy, your pull plunge was amazing, man. Where can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Whoa!
Can we hear each other? Are we hearing? Are we hearing? We're doing
This
hearing
is-
stuff.
This is a melody. It's a harmony of angels right now.
Yeah.
3 of us.
Yeah. Mhm.
We're just giving the kind of like big pitch about Known World and the big pitch about Extra Life. We talked about some games we wanted to play, but just in general, just like talking about how many people have got involved over the years and expanding out to the
Mhm.
whole weekend, like you said on your stream, like 72 hours of madness, baby.
So much hours.
I can hear
so
you,
much
Mitch.
madness.
Mitch, we always hear you. I hear you in my head all the time. I was like, what would Mitch do? And he's just like, Troll Dave. Not so bad.
And if I hear it from Mitch, I obey it.
Yeah, that's true story. Warrior, what have you played in over the years in Known World, or what will this be the year that the Warrior?
The idea.
I
Probably
always
not.
ask. No pressure.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I want to take a look at maybe some I don't know, it's that weird vibe where like on one hand I play D&D more than anything, so I kind of feel comfortable with that or the idea of that just because it's familiar, but it also I don't know, like every time I try to like step into the GM shoes and like think out how something will work, or I like read through an adventure, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. There's some connecting glue that doesn't jive with me. So I may look at running something rules light or just a little bit different. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe.
Have
Maybe.
you thought
I'll
about
give the answer I give every year, which is maybe.
Have you thought about streaming like Apex Legends or something like that? I mean, you're a sweet
I will.
people love you. So
Yeah, I mean, if I have breaks in between games, I'll stream on my channel. I'll stream something. I'll probably stream Destiny
Pitch your idea to Warrior to get a little feedback.
Oh yeah, sure,
You
absolutely.
have a picture idea. We're going to sell merch, and it's
I have
pictures.
a picture idea. It's a picture of me going. No, we're thinking.
It's like Kool-Aid Man, but hairier.
Oh no! Oh no! No, we're thinking like maybe Saturday. King and I would run the same adventure with different groups and do like a Known World United Open and do like three-hour sessions or something like that. And at the end, like whichever group acquired more loot or more points or whatever would like win some sort of Known World United prize or something.
Like the old school
Ooh.
opens they used to run at Gen Con.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds kind of cool. I like the concept.
Themes a day a little bit and like also makes it a little lighter that like King and I will run from whatever like 9 to 3 or something like that, or 9 to 6, and then be like, and now we're
Can
gonna
I-
play some shit or take some naps.
Well, I also was thinking
Yes.
I was also thinking like James and I were talking of like doing it in the fashion of you have the same players, they're actually
Mhm.
playing the same characters, but
Mhm.
that they don't have to be. It doesn't have to be the same story. Like it
Okay.
can be.
System or game.
Yeah, it even could be like this just kind of popped in my head, Beard. What if we first game they play at like 3rd level, second game they play at like 10th level, and the last game they play at like 17th.
I like that idea. I think it's cool, and I think that's nice from a player perspective. Like it can be a lot to sort of throw together like 8 or 9 characters in a weekend.
Yeah.
So I think like maybe, kind of like they always say on like Top Chef and stuff. They're like, don't do trios, like just do one thing really well. Like I like that vibe of like having a character or two that you're like maybe a little bit more invested in than just a random one shot, and playing it through. I think that's cool. I like that concept, because a lot of I know personally at least, a lot of my extra life characters have become like full-fledged characters, so it's cool too. I like that idea.
Nice.
Well, I think we get that has legs. Then that's what we should go with.
We'll do it.
Mhm.
Let's do it. Ooh. Yeah, that's good. How was your stream?
It was good. It was pretty good. People came, so that was nice and different.
Yeah.
I
What'd
was
you do?
playing.
What was your thing tonight?
I was playing Saints Row, the new Saints Row game,
How's that?
which is kind of mid but good. I'm still very early game, so I think it plays really well. There are a ton of quality of life upgrades, which are nice. Like you don't have to go to like the plastic surgeon to change how you look anymore. You don't have to buy different colors of different outfits. You can just buy like athletic shorts, and then you can recolor them as many times as you want. You can change your clothes anywhere. You can do a lot of the stuff that used to be harder is easier, which is nice. It doesn't feel like it has a lot of personality yet. And I think like, it is a reboot. So, I think some of that may come down the line, but like, whereas Saints Row like really hit you with personality right off the bat, and it was so over the top, like this is not over the top yet, at least. And so like that sort of over the topness feels lacking. Also like just weird personal pet peeves. It's such a character creation centric game. I mean, in none of the games have you played like an established character. You've always created your character. Character creation's always been super deep and super detailed. You can do all kinds of weird shit. You can in this one you can have prosthetics, you can do tattoos, you can do everything. You cannot change the height of your character. And
That's weird.
and you can't have any body hair, which seems weird. Yeah, there's tons of beard options, there's tons of hair options, there's no body hair. So it's like it feels like because I was going in, I'm like, wouldn't it be stupid if I played like my aberrant mind sorcerer who's old and has a like prosthetic arm and like ran around as like a dwarf? That would be fun. And then it's like, nope, not an option. I can make the prosthetic arm, but I can't. I'm still like a 6 foot tall person. None of the voices are British accent. Well, there's a British accent for a female character, but not for a male character. It's also weird.
That's weird.
So like it's a little bit like, it's like there could be some things that are better, but it's fun. I mean, it's a Saints Row game. It's fun. It's they changed the difficulty levels, so I'm playing on like one difficulty below normal, because my favorite thing to do in Saints Row is fuck around, and missions are fine, but I just want to get them out. Hopefully not find out.
Yeah.
And I feel like same with like GTA, like the sort of third person shooter / open world stuff, the controls are always a little bit janky. And I feel like the frustration I feel when I'm playing a lot of missions is not because I messed up. It's because like the game is just the jank is so bad.
Jank and strong.
Like it's like I have to fire awkwardly out of a thing by holding like 4 buttons. It's like, no, I'm just going to play it on like a little bit easier. So I'm not going to get mad at the game, and like, it's Saints Row. It's not like I'm on the competitive Saints Row circuit. So, but it's fine. It's good. It's fine. It's definitely not I ran out and bought it because I was like, Saints Row is like one of my favorite game series. I love Saints Row, and I'm like, I could have waited, so you could wait for it to be good. So, but
It's one of those things that it just needs more DLC and everything else to kind of balance it all together.
It just doesn't feel like Saints Row yet. It feels very generic in a lot of ways, whereas Saints Row has always been very like stylized and very distinct. It
Yeah.
feels kind of generic. Like there are always ridiculous weapons. There are always ridiculous guns, vehicles, all that kind of stuff. And again, at this point in the game, none of that. You can't. I can't get a dildo bat, which like why even play?
Right. Yeah.
So like maybe, and again, maybe that'll amp up as you go through. The funnest thing about it there are these LARP missions. So like the whole conceit is that everyone in the city is like on the down low, like playing, right? Like, or at all times you're sort of playing this LARP. So you have like finishers in this one. This one has finishers, so you can like just knock an enemy out right away. And they do it in this sort of like ridiculously graphic fashion. So, but in the LARP, if you shoot someone in the head, it like confetti pops out. And if you do a finisher on them, it's all like you miss by like a foot, and then you're like, well, there's one where you like, slice across, missing by a mile, you slice across the route, and then they're like, and like their guts are falling out. It's so good. It's so stupid. It's like, I wish this whole game was the part. But it's good. It's fine. It's fine. That's what I did. I played Saints Row.
Nice. Not too shabby. We're also trying to figure out like people's favorite games over the years. Colin said he was going to run Tales from the Loop again. He also got the expansion where you can play as adult versions of your characters.
Oh yeah,
Isn't that what he said? Isn't that what he said on Monday Night Warrior?
I think so. I'm trying to remember. I think so.
But yeah, so we were trying to think about like that, and then like just like other things that we've found have worked well or have been fun or that we'd like to do again. I said I'm going to run like a session of Drakewind if everybody's available, like I did for Tasty Boys the last couple of years. And then I thought it might also be fun to pick one or two moments from the microscope and like open it up to anybody to like play out in more detail some of those like microscope moments to lend a little bit of history to things that we thought were like pretty fun. But yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of doing it in. I like the idea of doing a lot of the games in the known world, at least like the D&D stuff. Like I think that's super smart, and it does kind of build out those places in ways that I think are more fruitful than on a spreadsheet or writing it out. I think when you play it, it comes alive a little bit more than as we've seen, playing through Drakewind Falls. I think that's dope. I think Tales from the Loop is cool. I like Tales from the Loop as a system.
Yeah, me too.
Kids on Bikes also dope.
Or Frank and his brain. Oh man. Yeah, I agree. I it's been fun. It's been really nice to see people try games out and people be really into them too, or seeing like Cassandra run or, there's been a lot of fun moments over the last, the last couple of years where people have done really interesting and engaging things.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite games that you've played outside of D&D that you were like, oh, this is pretty amazing?
I really like. I've played a few games in the Genesis system, which is by Fantasy Flight, actually, or what I don't remember. I don't know how they work now, but
What was the
Fantasy Flight.
What was the game, if I might ask?
So the game I played was I did like an audition game in that system, and then I did a 3-spot guest star role on a podcast called Roads Uncharted, which is one of, if not the only, Genesis actual play podcast out there. It is a fantasy setting. It's very it's D&D like. I mean, like if you think of the technology level, if you think of, the sort of thing. The main cast is an 11-foot tall giant, a sort of Warforged type character, and a werewolf. So I brought Big Mood into that game. That's actually was his first game, and it's really fun. It's very like narrative driven. Combat isn't very crunchy at all. The character creation is pretty easy. The dice are odd. Like, just, you'd have to get used to it, but there is a whole, if the GM knows what the dice mean, there's like a website where you can just plug in, because you get certain types of dice depending on what your bonuses are and how difficult something is and that kind of thing. So, but you kind of get it. The outcomes are a little bit more PBTA in that you have like success with consequence, great success. You have there are certain things and abilities where, like, if you roll in a certain way, you can then confer a bonus to like whoever goes next or something like that. It's really fun. It's a cool system. It's probably a lot to learn for like a one shot.
Is that the
Sorry,
system
it was a lot to learn for
where
one
they
shot,
were
but,
using for Star Wars?
I don't know. Did it have weird dice? Probably.
Fantasy
Probably.
Flight version of Star Wars had some weirdo dice.
Some weird. Yeah, they're strange. Yeah, the dice are. It's hard to describe them exactly. But so probably.
Okay.
I don't know for sure, but it sounds like it. So Genesis was really fun. I enjoyed. I've been enjoying Star Wars. That's been fun. Which is a lot like PBTA. I mean, it's like 2 dice, kind of varying levels of success, that kind of thing. That's been fun. I've liked the rules light ones I've played. I think I enjoy fewer rules. Like, I like the bullshitting and talking part sometimes more than the crunchy part. So I think those can be fun. I think the challenge I have with those sometimes is like I need a certain amount of guidelines or walls a little bit. Like I need something to work within, and so sometimes I feel like those can be a little too free almost for me, because then it's like working cold. And it's like, okay, this happens, and they're like, just say what happens, and I'm like, no, give me a job, a color, and a flavor of ice cream. Some like, like that's I like a little. That's what I like in a system. I mean, D&D works in a way where it's like I'm operating within this, and I sort of learn how to operate in this.
Have you played Fiasco, Ryan?
No, I'm tempted to play. I have Fiasco. I own Fiasco. Because for a while I've been looking for like GM-less systems to try to put together.
How come you haven't talked to me? I got an entire folder full of them.
Nice. I don't know, because I'm keeping it secret. I'm just like casually doing it. Like I like the idea of creating a GM-less game. And so I've been kind of looking into them, but I haven't played Fiasco yet.
Fiasco is it's I think it's really fun, but it definitely has that you're off the rails feel the whole time, because it's like, what are the rules? Oh, we just get to make scenes, just role play. There's no dice, pretty much. Nope, let's go. All right. Like, it's a game that if I would have tried to play in college, I would have been like, nope, I'm out. It would have been like, this is too much like acting. And now I'm like,
yeah.
Now that's a game where I'm like, oh, let's go. Let me get my ugly on.
Yeah, I like when there's some like improv in my tabletop gaming, but I don't want to do improv. It's like, I think where my line is with that. But yeah, Fiasco was really fun to watch, though. It was because Zach ran it, right?
Yeah, I get to
The
play a
Poppleton Mall or
teenager
whatever.
last night. Yeah, I was a teenager last year, and a
Mhm.
real dumb teenager.
Cool.
Sorry,
So-
Huey had something to say about that. Apparently,
Who did?
Huey.
Hi, Huey.
Oh, I have my earphones in. He can't hear you.
Wow.
He
Well,
knows.
fuck you.
Sorry,
He
homies.
knows.
Yeah, I don't. Are there any game systems? I'm curious. Ben and I talked about this a little bit, but are there any game systems that you've liked to try, or like properties that that you feel like would be kind of like fun for us to try to run? Like we made a big long list a while back of like games we've backed, or kind of systems we've backed, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to play Kids on Bikes. Honestly, like, I want to play Kids on Bikes so bad.
I have
So
kids
bad.
on bikes and I have kids on brooms as well.
Oh.
I definitely want to do that. There is a system that I backed on Kickstarter. I don't think it's out yet, but it's out soon, called Queers, which looked kind of fun. It looks it looks very gay and Power Rangers sort of ish. But I don't think it's fully out. But I am also really bad at checking out on my Kickstarter. So.
Also, it's not fully out. Ironic.
Ironic.
We were talking earlier. Mitch had suggested Thirsty Sword Lesbians, but I was like, I don't know if I feel comfortable running that game. I own the game, but
I've heard good things about Monster of the Week, but
have Monster of the Week. It's real good. It's another
I've
PBTA.
also heard good things about Glitter Hearts, which
Cool. I haven't seen that.
is like a princess's game or something. I don't know. I've heard it's supposed to be fun.
I also have for the Power, which is a Princess of Power PBTA.
Okay.
But it's less like, it's not built for combat. It's like all the other shit. It's like, do you like She-Ra, but you like all the personal drama? This is for you.
Mhm. It's all the drama shit. Okay.
It's all
That's
the
cool.
like friendship is magic and empowerment through relationship stuff, which is super cool. I was like, oh, this, but it also has some punching in it. And I was like, I do like punching.
I like punching.
Also, a
punching.
fan of. I'm trying to find. Okay.
Yeah, if you look, Ryan, in the Chaos Scar thing, I put my other games folder link in there.
Oh, okay.
There's
Sure.
tons of stuff that I'm sure you would have some interest in them.
Mm-hmm. There's a game I bought called Dot Dungeon, which looks really cool. It is like the concept is like an MMO RPG, but like it's kind of this, like, the online piece of it is an important piece, and it's sort of like the vibe that you would get from like building relationships over a MMORPG. It's a rules, like, I feel like I would really like to play it, but like trying to figure it out, I'm like, I need to see someone playing it or something to kind of get the vibe. The rules are like light in a way that is good, but sort of they're very stylized, and I think they're maybe specific in ways that I don't understand. And so like what I really need to do is sit down with it and read it like a patient person, but I haven't been able to do that yet, because I start reading it and then I'm like, I don't get it, and I hate it because I don't understand it immediately, and then I throw the book across the
I
table.
just want to know.
And then I go pick it up and I'm like, it's really cool. It's really cute. It's actually I have it. So I got
Oh yeah.
it's like, this is like the book. It's a really long little book, and it's, the art's cool, but it's only, it's like that long, and it comes with like but it's all very like the art.axe.info. It's cool, like it's very stylized, but it's like I almost think that the style is distracting me from understanding what
It might be a little
this
over the
is doing.
substance.
It's yeah, I mean, it seems cool, but I think it's a game for people who know what they're doing, and like that's the vibe I get. But it's cool because it came with the one I bought. The instance I bought came with a couple. They do zines that have like adventures in them. So I have like 3 or 4 of these zines that came out that have adventures. But
So kind of
I
like
got
it looks cool.
Mothership, I know has a lot of that. Mothership does a lot of that too, where it's like a game that's basically like a zine, and then they just keep pumping out
Mhm.
additional zines for it.
Yeah,
I
Yeah, it's
have
like-
And it's like a
a new game that I got for whoever I'm DMing for. I always get a new game, and I backed something on a to be named a crowdfunding site, and it is Minnesota themed. And this is going
Really?
to be all of the folks get this here. So a
Hmm.
game of indulgent doom. That's not the
like
name. That's the tagline, and it's
Use
going to be
codes.
fucking wild. Yeah.
Nice.
I know it.
Nice. Yeah.
Uh,
What else? Blades in the Dark is really fun too.
I've heard good things. Haven't
It's fun.
played it.
It's fun. It's yeah, it's fun. It's cool. It's a D6 game also, but it's not always 2. It's more of the like you have a certain number of pips in different skills. So if you either roll at disadvantage. If you have 0, you roll 1 dice, or up to 3 or 4, and then you're trying to beat a certain, usually you're trying to get a 6, but if you get like a 4, it's okay, and if you get a 1, it's bad. Kind of vibe. But it's cool. It's fun. It's one of those ones where it's like it's like D&D enough that like it's almost weird to play, because it's like you want to jump my brain. I'll talk about myself. My brain wants to jump back to like D&D thoughts, and then I'm like, no, that's not what this is. But it's a
hard
little
not to do
moodier. It's moodier. It's sort of post-apocalyptic-ish. You're sort of in this very dark, kind of underground city, and there's a ghost vibe. There's a few different classes. The class I play is called the Hound, which is my character, if you can believe it, is a cranky old cowboy.
what?
And I know, right? Really fun. It's a fun system. They do a lot of stuff with timers in that. So like you instead of sort of maybe winging how long something will take, it's like the GM will be like, I'm starting a timer, and it's for the authorities arriving or something, and every time you sort of fail a roll or do something or take time, it adds to the pie. Then when it's full, cops are here, that kind of thing. So it's got some cool bugs.
That reminds me of a board game I used to have that was like that. It was Thieves Guilds
Yeah.
of Catalan, where you couldn't attack the other players directly, but you could push the cops towards them.
Oh, interesting.
So, and there were parts of the game, there was time periods during the play where all the exits were shut off. So then you had to really negotiate not to get caught. You played little war bands of like 4 thieves. And they were everybody in your war band was different. Everybody in every war band was different. It was a fun little game.
It's cool. That's cool.
It sounds a little bit like that.
I think
I can see that.
oh, good.
Yeah. You're sort of in like a crime game, basically. So
Yeah, I think I've listened to Mike Shea talk about it. He was running it for a while before. He
Yeah, the
switched
guy
to
who-
Human Era.
guy who does those animated D&D spell videos did a little thing on Blades in the Dark. He didn't like it, but he did one.
I've heard good things, but I've also heard mixed things. I've heard you need the right group for it. If you don't have the right group, it's
You need a group who's it's more fun with you. Yeah, you need a good group, because there is a lot of working together. I mean, there are points where obviously, like you're doing a heist, so some people are in different areas, but you're all kind of working toward a common goal. So if you have folks who just kind of want to go do their own shit, it can be very detrimental to the group, or it can be really boring for the person who's off doing their own shit because they don't have anything to interact with. They're like, yeah, you fucked off to that building, so have fun in there. Anyway, back to the people who are doing shit, which is kind of nice, honestly. But you do need a good group. You need it, and I think everyone needs to be game for sure, because like you need to kind of be a little bit daring and a little bit, outlandish. And it's fun because like a lot of times the sort of normal D&D tropes like don't work, or they sort of, you end up like looking like a clown because it's like, okay, we're going to go steal some medicine from a pharmacy, right? And it's like if everyone's like casing this like front door of a pharmacy, it's like, what are you doing? Just unlock the door. Like, it's a pharmacy door. There's not guards here. Like, it's a pharmacy. So that can be kind of fun. It's
That's
good.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we have a lot to look forward to this year. I'm pretty pumped. I think that there's some good ideas percolating, and I think that getting folks like Shannon and I would love to see a Love Lost Chronicles episode. I think that for some of these that I feel are more like gender and kind of personal identity inclusive, I think that there's a real great opportunity to to keep adding more folks to the known world. And I think that that's often been kind of the jam of Extra Life, is to see how expansive we can be and welcome new folks to the family. And and in the end it's about raising funds for kids and their families that are health traumas. And I think that I think that anybody and everybody that wants to be a part of the known world, throw your hat in the ring and let's fuck around and find out for the kids.
Ooh.
I would like to see us, and maybe we talk about this at another point in time, but I would like to see us also do like maybe a second thing every year for a different charity. We try to do it very similar to what we do this. I think people would get excited about that, and I think it would be something cool to do. There's a lot of charities out there. There's a lot of cool things to support, and I would just sometimes I'm like, oh man, this really takes a lot of I don't know about for you, but for me it's just like can be very it can be a lot, but at the same time it's also when we do it and it's successful, you're like, holy shit, this was great. Look what we all did together, and it feels really good.
So we raised like $15,000 last year. So what are we shooting for this year? Like 100K or what?
Yeah, I mean, no doubt.
James is, I'm sure.
20,200.
20,200.
Yeah,
all right. Sure. You can shoot for it.
Yeah, baby. Shoot for the moon, and if you don't, you'll land among the stars. That's I hate that, but
Yeah, that sounds like you
feel
die
bad.
in space.
I feel bad. Yeah.
Sounds like you die in space.
Yep. So the cold vacuum of space welcomes you.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know, man. I will say this: I've hit the wall, so I think it's time for me to go watch She-Hulk with Cassandra, and then
we're at them. We're at 90-minute mark. But Warrior, thanks for jumping in. As always, King.
Sure.
Namaste.
Warrior, where can they find your sweet streaming?
They can find me at WarriorMN on the socials. They can find me at twitch.tv/WarriorMN. I stream most Thursdays, except when they do surprise maintenance. Motherfuckers. And Have I typically also stream Friday evenings from like 5:30 to about 7:30, and then I hop on over to the Free Forge for Honor Roll, which is airing right now.
It
So
is.
it's kids on bikes. It's set in the 90s. For folks our age, it is very nostalgic and it's super funny. So
Yeah.
that's where they can find me.
Yeah. Whew. King, where can they find you? Oh, right there.
Here on Fridays, generally we're playing games of some type. I did pick up some new games as well, so maybe we'll have to test drive some of those. Also, I Was a Teenage Exocolonist came out this week, and I'm very, very intrigued by that game.
Mm.
You can find me Sunday prep school. This Sunday we are prepping for the currently unnamed Orky Mad Max death race across Archeon or Archeon. I don't know how to say that word. That I did music for today. That
Ooh.
yeah. And then Monday it's Down Outlands. Feels
Yeah,
like
baby.
feels like we just played, but that's because I ran Monday. So
Feels like the first time.
yeah.
Feels like the very first time.
So
Oh,
yeah,
sweet.
I've got to do a little figuring out where we ended last time, because right now my brain's on a little bit of overload from all the games.
Oh,
So,
I know what. My sweet little hippo boy has a kitty.
Hmm? Wow.
Hmm.
he does?
Yeah, you brought. Yeah, we got out of Mimic Land, Mimicville, Mimic Town.
Was it
And,
a Tessworm?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the one that showed him to all those mimics cats he had to kill. Came back. You had him. He came back out. Came back out of the gate.
Well, he can fly though too, so
Mhm.
he could just fly back over the gate
He could. I mean,
or the
we
wall.
don't know.
Yeah.
Depending on
We
what
don't
we
know
pick
yet.
up, maybe he doesn't, but he could. He could.
You know
And
what?
then,
I mean, I've heard that test worms are completely beholden to he who holds the food holds the test worm. I think
I
I'm
mean,
saying
that's-
that wrong. I can't remember how to say that word.
I think
at
it's
all.
Tressum, like the
Tressum?
shampoo from the '90s without the May.
Probably. You're
Tressum
probably
May.
right.
That's how I see it, but I don't know.
Awesome. I like that better. No.
And then Amulet is in some deep shit, and
Oh
and,
yeah, she ran into Archon the Cruel. Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
She's got a wee deadline with Archon the Cruel and Twig. What was Twig doing? I don't remember what Twig was doing. Oh,
Twig, I think, is still dealing with his dad's
Twig.
unionization of farm workers.
Twig was going to confront some rowdy Utes, and that was hassling his friend. The Kenku that I know. I know who those Kenku is.
Murder of Kenku.
Yeah, Twig made some new enemies.
He made a good friend though. He made a new friend. I can't remember.
He did.
Who?
Yep.
Oh, he with the Yuan-Ti pureblood girl.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then I don't remember what. I'm trying to remember what was going on with Savannah, but
Savannah and Monty were together in class. So we just it ended.
Listen to the whole episode. I don't remember.
It ended with Monty and everyone assembled. Everyone survived Mimic Town, and like class was over, and the snooty owl person was like, "I'm better than you." They're like, "Are you?" And she's like, "Yeah." And that was, I think, where it got left off. But yeah, it was a solid session. It was really fun. So.
You know, I've had a couple of good weeks of running games. Shockingly enough, Monday was good.
Whatever.
And then Wednesday was really good too. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got Down Outlands on Monday, and we're week off Star Wars, and then the following Wednesday we should be wrapping things up.
Card 5 of
I mean,
3,
if we
baby.
don't, I'll be shocked because right now everybody in the party has a gun pulled on them.
Seems unjust. From
Well, it's
Punk's
better than before you had a lightsaber pulled on you. Now it's just a gun. So now it's just a blaster.
Sure.
That's true. That's true.
And yeah, hey, I'm James. It's RPG week, so Down in Outlands on Monday, followed up by Drakewind Falls on Tuesday with Warrior Over Here. Myself is Drake Ward. As always, you can follow me down
And
here on the
Thursday,
Hero Beard Walks. Huh?
Thursday, Drakewind Falls.
No. Tuesday, Drakewind Falls. Thursday,
Drakewind Falls, Bloodlust Chronicles.
Lost Chronicles.
Mhm.
It's weird for me. This is a lot like Extra Life in the fact that this was another thing we just started doing, and it just has slowly gotten bigger.
Yeah.
Remember how I was like, I'm only going to do like one thing on this channel. That's,
Yeah, dude, you're the one who came to me and was like, I want to do this game thing and I want to do this other thing. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. You stream more than I do on this shit. Also, hey, check out extra-left.org. Search for Known World United. Search for Ben. Search for me. Search for Ryan. Search for everybody. We are under $1,000 left to raise for us to crack $50,000 raised in our 8 years now.
Oh,
So,
in total? That's wild.
yeah,
that's
So-
nuts.
namaste to all those who have donated. It's pretty awesome. It feels really good to be able to do this. I still haven't dropped off David's plaque, and I still haven't dropped off the joint plaque over at the Mayer household. But $15,137 for Known World United last
So
year,
many.
baby.
That's so many dollars.
So many dollars. So.
many dollars.
Yeah, thank you. Onward, upward. The known world expands, and our ability to support, kids who really need it expands. So, thanks for tuning in. We've been bad at nothing tonight. We've been fucking extraordinary. So have an extraordinary weekend.
Great.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's hit that beautiful music, baby.